Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Allegiance Way show. I'm Amy Lassen, and I'm thrilled to again have Eyerusalem Meaza here with us. Corporate trainer extraordinaire. Eyerusalem, it is always such a pleasure to talk to you about ways to make realtors' lives easier and better. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So jump right in. Tell us what we're talking about today. I don't know if our audience knows enough just based on the description on YouTube and Facebook about what we're going to cover. So jump right in.
So today we're going to be talking about the unique value proposition. It's an exercise that I put together. Initially, I had it in conjunction with my Zillow class, but so many people have really liked the exercise, and Amy and I, we really love this exercise. So we decided to present it separately. And this is the unique value proposition are ways for you to find how you can be the best version of yourself over the competition. So pretty much the exercise will walk you through all the steps of finding your unique value. And that's pretty much what we're going to do today. So I hope that you can fully take advantage of that. And it's applicable to your profile, your marketing, your branding, and running your real estate business. So I'm really looking forward to sharing this with everyone.
Okay, good. You know, it occurs to me, Eyerusalem, that I think all of us have more unique value than we know. And that's what this exercise brings out of us. You know, walking through the steps, asking the questions, it helps us to wrap our own heads around, oh yeah, I do stand out in these ways. So I'm really grateful and I'm excited to come along for the ride. I always say, I've got my pen, I'm ready. We'll see, disclaimer to everyone listening, we may or may not get completely through every little bit of it in 30 minutes. We're going to do our best because we do want to do a little bit of a deep dive on some of the details, right?
Yes, exactly. And we have officially have it posted on the allegianceway.com. So if you go to the allegianceway.com, you go to agent resources up at the top and go down to the daily dose. You scroll away to the bottom and you can click and download your unique value proposition. So feel free to download it now and you can walk through the exercise with us or after this session. So today will be a bit of an overview for each of the steps. So I may talk briefly about each step, but everything is detailed and laid out in the handout that we've provided for you.
Yep. And you're going to share your screen. So everyone, don't panic. You don't have to go download it. You can follow along.
Yes.
Okay. Or I guess I'm the one who's going to share the screen. Okay. Cool. Actually, I need to make my screen bigger so I can read. All right. Jump right in and tell us these questions. You and I talked about this before, that these are just things to help you reflect. So will you read them to us?
Yes. So the unique value proposition is the reason why consumers and your clients should choose you over the competition. And you'll sense throughout the exercise, we talk a lot about competition, but I'm referring to a healthy competition, right? Being the best version of yourself. But I want agents to realize that this exercise is more not to be very with one another, this is going to be a very healthy, competitive environment with other realtors. So it's all about you, right? And being the best version of yourself. So throughout the exercise, I have listed these following questions in mind to pretty much ponder around, and it's really hard to answer. There's, it's a good reflection. So I just want agents to have this on the back of their mind throughout the exercise so that they can better understand the whole unique value proposition and what it means.
Hey, I want to insert something about what you said about competition.
Yes.
I have a friend who is quite a unique character, and she's really clear about who she is. She doesn't try to be all things to all people. She doesn't try to attract every type of client. She knows the type of clients she wants, and she knows the type of service she wants to provide, and she basically is where we all want to get at the end of this exercise, that we know our own value, we know our own culture, and we can share it and make sure that we're attracting the right types of people. So when you talk about competition, Eyerusalem, it's not that we're trying to take all the business and go head to head with every agent out there.
Exactly.
Just what you said, not just be the best self that you are, but know how to market that so that you're attracting your ideal customer. So, okay, great. Jump in.
Exactly. So I'm just going to read out loud the question so you guys can ponder on it. So it's what do you want your market to know about you? What is an underserved market in your area?
Mm-hmm.
What types of clients do you want to serve? What is one thing that you can do better than anyone else that you can prove? Is there anything in your processes or procedures that makes you unique? Do you have a compelling story? In what ways are you different than your direct competitors? And describe the type of person who would be perfect for your unique service, and who is it not for?
Ooh, nice. I can already, okay, my wheels are already turning. Okay, take us to the beginning. So everybody just ponder those, keep those in the back of your mind, but move us on to the first part of the exercise.
Okay, perfect. So first, before I get to the actual first step, I'm going to talk about professional numbers.
Okay.
Clients, consumers, they like to see numbers, they like to see statistics, and so you want something like that to back it up, right? And you know, the unique value proposition is about you, but it's also you are a representation of the brokerage. You are a representation of your team, right? And so the professional numbers section, before we get to the steps, this has to do with pretty much the professional numbers, like the sales volume, the metrics, the statistics regarding your team or brokerage. So for brokerage, for your company, can be, you know, if you're affiliated with RE/MAX, the most #1 recognized real estate brand in the world. The #1 is considered, you know, the number. And then for RE/MAX Allegiance, our brokerage operating in DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, with over 10 offices. And then for teams, so if there's metrics and things like that that you have for your team itself, you can also put that in there. So that is what I mean by professional numbers. So these are some examples that I just put in here that you can think about. And then where I listed X, or where you can put in like 10 times more, you know, 30% more, depending on what you're comfortable with.
Sure.
And you are not required to fill in this information, but if there's something that you would like to add in for what you represent, this is totally a great way to insert that here.
Yeah,
so I have lines in here too.
Tomorrow, Charlie and I on the Allegiance Way show are going to talk about tracking. So for those of you agents who have been in the business for a while, or who are just getting started and want to put your systems in place, these are the types of things that you can track over time that contribute to your unique value proposition. So you can start tracking, what is your average days on market compared to the MLS? You know, what is your list to sell ratio compared to the MLS? Now that may or may not be a significant number for you, but if it is, like Eyerusalem said, use it if it helps you, and if not, let's move on.
Exactly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the step 1. So this is officially the first step of the exercise. Okay. So you can go get a big pile of 3x5 cards if you want to do this, or in this handout, you can print it out or jot it down. You can write it on a piece of paper. So I have categories listed. So for each of these bolded categories, you are to write down at least one thing that describes you in each area. Now, you are not required or obligated to fill out every single one. If there's some areas that you do not have any idea what to put in, you can skip those, right? So just put in as much information as you can. That's the key.
So I have a question about the exercise.
Yes.
So, and this is a serious question. Do I put like that I have an undergraduate degree in something on the 3x5 card, or do I have like as many cards as I want for education, or do I have one card for education?
Each card will be, yes. So you will have, for that card, for that 3x5 card, it depends on how you want to do it. So for that 3x5 card, each card can be each of these fields, each of these areas, or you can have 2-3 cards for education, 2 cards for experience.
So I want everybody to know why I'm asking, because like, imagine you're going to have this pile of paper and you might want to cut those cards smaller, but you'll have and you can mix them up, and then you're going to have this creative exercise to try to put this together, and it's really fun. So I was thinking, if I had 2 or 3 or 5 significant elements of my education, would it be cool to have them on set? But I don't know, maybe I'm making this harder. Keep going.
It totally depends. So the good thing with jumbling up, having them all in separate cards, is so that when I get to the next step, when you're jumbling them all up and mixing that all up, you'll find better combinations.
New combinations. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's good to have them in each specific area that you list should be in a separate card. So for education, if you have 2 undergraduate degrees, then you want them to be in 2 separate areas, so that when you're jumbling them all up for the combinations, you'll find more results with that.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So for education, that can be college degrees, your bachelor's, your master's. experience, the number of years of experience that you have with real estate. For specialty,
Hang on just a second.
Yes.
I want to explain to everybody that you and I spent quite a bit of time on this, and we were a little bit confused by the categories, right?
Yes.
So let's say you don't have a university degree, and you could say, well, wait. I have all this other education. I have my senior real estate specialist, or I'm a luxury expert. Use these however you want to. The purpose of the exercise is just meant to be helpful, and there could be some overlap between experience, education, designation. You use them how you want. I just want to clarify that. So you and I, Eyerusalem, because we have separate categories for designations and things, we made education about more formal education. But everybody listening, do whatever you want. This is your unique value proposition.
Exactly.
Oh, so can we give examples then? Because you were, so for experience, it could be your years in the business. That could be it, right? That might be a big thing. Although if it's 60, you might feel like that makes you sound old. So you decide if years in the business is a great one. Number of sales. Some people really like to say, I've done this much business. Your focus on a specialty. And we're going to talk about specialty next, but that could be in your experience, that I've done so much of this. Your brokerage's accomplishments, you can promote what the brokerage has done, how many years they've been in all 3 of those jurisdictions, how incredible that is. Your former career, you could call on that as experience, right? Maybe you were an accountant in your previous life, and that makes you really good at numbers. Another former career that could be interesting to put here under experience could just show your discipline in life. Like, what if you were a really successful athlete? Or what if you retired from the military? Calling on that as your experience, that can show discipline and expertise. So I just wanted to offer up those as experience examples, because maybe you haven't been in the business very long, and years in the business is not the only thing.
Exactly. Those are really great examples. And also, like, as I walk through the steps, you'll see pretty much towards the end the overall picture and how all these steps are directly related to one another. And a lot of the things that Amy has pointed out, you'll also be working in with all these, like, this future steps going towards.
Okay,
so we'll talk more about that as well. So thank you so much for those examples. Also, specialties. So like, listing agents, commercial versus residential, condos, luxury, farm, ranch. So, agents have a certain specialty. So those are some examples that you can have in mind. For skills and talent, it could be, a financial analysis, home staging. Those are just a couple examples that I'm throwing out there. And for interests, like I said, these don't have to be real estate related. So, for interests, I put things like hiking, nature, but, in a way that represents yourself and your brand, right? So that's why I put nature. Professional certifications and designations, we put that in one category. This could be the ABR, accredited buyer's representative, luxury senior specialist, short sales, certified residential specialist, CRS. Those are a couple of examples.
Great.
And then for the client care process, focusing, Amy did provide me with an amazing example for that, about how there are agents who focus on specific clients, and how their current clients are the focus, or their past clients are the focus. And so every agent has a different client care process. So you are welcome to use that. And that's why we have added this section.
Well, you know what, Eyerusalem, I read an article, and I wonder if I could track it down, and Zillow actually wrote it. And it was advice from Zillow about how to write a compelling biography, like a professional bio. And what they said was, quit making it so much about you and start making it about your service. And I really had to wrap my head around that. So for me, this section that you put in here of client care process is, what can the client expect from me, right? What can they expect from my service? And so I wrote a tagline here. I wrote, when you work with me, you'll never have to wonder what's next. And maybe that's too practical. Maybe that's not sexy enough. But I have a detailed process that I use to guide all my clients through every type of transaction. I provide detailed consultation with printed guides to every client I serve, right? That's my client process, so that they don't have to wonder, how does that work? Well, I just hope that you'll call me. And then I'm telling them in advance I have a process. So that's what I put for mine.
Exactly. And this unique value proposition exercise, it's all about yourself, but when you're presenting it to your clients, when you're presenting your real estate brand, you're not going to be saying much about I. It's really about how my experiences will work for you. What is in it for the consumer? So that's a lot about what Amy is referring to. And as we unroll through these steps, you really want to consider how the unique value proposition is going to help the consumer, right? Because it's all about the services that you're going to provide for them. And a lot of these consumers and clients, they want to hear what's in it for them, right? Yeah. And so definitely incorporating that aspect, and all of that will unfold as we go through the exercises and steps. We also have target market areas. So areas that you serve, it could be zip codes, cities, it can be generic. Maybe you're licensed in all of DC, Maryland, Virginia, DMV, or maybe Northern Virginia, DC metropolitan, certain neighborhoods that you like working in, that is considered your target market. And then personality, ways that you describe yourself, enthusiasm, energetic. And so those are just some examples. And you want to think about, with your personality, you want to think about what personality attributes towards your real estate business, as well. Yeah. So
I have a question. Because now I'm realizing that with this exercise being that we'll put all these on cards or slips of paper and mix them up. Yeah. I had thought of some things that I didn't have a category for, and so I called them extras, but I don't know if this is where they would go. So I want to read them to you and have you tell me. Yes. So what if these were the extras that make me valuable? Part of my unique value proposition is my agent network, that I have access to a list of off-market properties. I don't know what the heck that means. But like I have 10,000 followers. Like I have this huge, that my marketing is stronger because of that. Or I have a ton of experience with video. I have 200 plus videos on YouTube, or I have a really strong professional vendor network. I don't know, maybe I'm making trouble because I didn't. Sometimes Charlie says to me, we didn't talk about this beforehand, and Eyerusalem and I really didn't talk about this. It occurred to me just before we went on, I was thinking of these extras. Would they go anywhere, or should I just park those for now?
Those actually, I would definitely want to look at them, because I would have to look and sit down and think about each of those.
All right.
Those would fall into different categories, but I think for now, I would, if like, let's say those are really, really good examples. So if like by looking at this list, I would think about which category it's closest to. But like when you're doing this exercise, don't stress yourself out trying to shove that characteristic into a specific box of category. But so maybe we can have an extra section for that as well.
And I guess
those are amazing examples.
Well, if you guys think of things, Eyerusalem, you and I were talking before we went live. What can you say that no one else can? What will you say that no one else will?
Yes.
Maybe that falls under that. It's just like, what about this? This is unique to me. Yeah. So okay, keep going.
It's all about having fun with this exercise. I mean, there are no strict rules. You can jot, you can brainstorm, you can doodle on it, like this exercise is for you. So have fun with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are really good examples. For step 2, so pretty much you're mixing up those combinations. Okay. Whether you have them listed or on those cards, you're pretty much like shuffling them. Right. And so these are some examples that I came up with. So jazz lover, real estate investing, and Georgetown. Right. That's one of my service areas. So those are one of the combinations. So as many combinations as you find, you just jot them down here.
Yeah.
And then the step 3 is taking it up a notch. So you're trying to enhance that combination. So as you see here, we went from jazz lover, real estate investing, and Georgetown. Those are like 3 terms, right? But we want to make sure we can have it fully interpreted into a sentence and developed. So from there, we went into jazz loving real estate professional or jazz loving home sales expert. And you want to be a little bit more specific. One of the bullet points that I noted here is you don't want to just say, I'm the jazz saxophone real estate agent who, so that's the example that I have displayed. And another thing that I want to emphasize with this step is when you're thinking about people that are Googling you, hypothetically, not literally Google you, but if they were to Google you, what kind of keywords would pop up? So if I was to type in jazz loving real estate professional in Georgetown, let's say that's something that I Googled. would you pop up for that? Right. And that's something that I want you to have in the back of your mind when I'm referring to the keywords that appear in your Google search. So this step will also help you narrow down those choices. So when you're going through all those jumbled, cards and you're going through all the different words, the way that you have them structured in sentences and phrased, this step will help you narrow down your choices.
Yeah.
And then step 4 is validating your findings. Okay. So there are 2 ways to validate your findings. It can be with clients and competitors, but today we're going to be emphasizing with validating with clients and friends and family, right? So with clients, we're not expecting agents to pick up the phone and call them and saying, hey, what do you think about me, right? So for clients though, what we can do is you can pull in your testimonials, you can pull in your reviews, read them, look at the key traits that they're talking about, right? And honesty, how they said something about responsiveness, jot down those words. This is something that we're going to incorporate into your unique value. So also validating with your friends and family. So we know that we're all stuck at home. So we're either calling or Zooming or communicating with our friends and family. So ask them, like, what are 5 words that they can describe you with? And this doesn't have to be real estate related, but when they talk about, your responsiveness or your honesty, your knowledge and traits, personality traits, when you jot them down here, you will be able to relate it to your real estate business. And so those are just some ideas that I jotted down here. So that's part of validating your findings.
Yeah.
And then step 5 is gut check. Will it work for you? So for step 5, so as the example that I have provided is the jazz lover real estate agent in Georgetown. So here is when we're really going to narrow down those strong options that we have, and we are going to break it down into marketable branding tactics for each item. So the breakdown of the unique value proposition would be what we had said. So in this line, I would put in jazz lover. So a marketing branding tactic for that would be perhaps maybe you have in your real estate commercial, you have jazz playing in the background or in the intro. Maybe in your logo, you have like a jazz or saxophone symbol as part of your logo or brand name. Or maybe for Georgetown would be another breakdown component of that unique value proposition. So for that marketing branding tactic, maybe on your business cards, you want a Georgetown background. Or maybe on your email signature, you want a layout of Georgetown, the Georgetown landscape. So little examples like that. So key, and as you can see, you notice that I didn't pull out real estate as one of the unique value propositions, right? Because everybody is a real estate agent, but what I pulled out was the jazz lover and the Georgetown, right? Those are the unique values from that. So I have some space here where you can write them down and then discuss how you want to market and brand them.
Yeah, that's great.
And then for step 6, you have a lot of options. And so the best way to narrow it down is to have them ordered from what's most exciting and compelling to you to what's the least exciting and compelling to you. And now let's say you love absolutely all of them, and that's totally okay. It's okay to have a lot of options. That's totally fine. It's all about how you want to incorporate into your bio and how you want to incorporate into your marketing, right? And so that's the way I have it here. And you want to read the sentences out loud. You want to read the phrases out loud. You really want to think about, like, is this how I want to present myself? Is this what I want to share? Like, is this really exciting to me? Is this really compelling for my real estate business? So I have them all ordered here. And you are, like I said, you're welcome to use all of them if you like all of them. And then step 7 is reflection and integration. Okay. So by reflection, I'm referring to pretty much all of the steps 1 through 6 that we went through. You're going to be reflecting on those, but you're also going to be integrating this step into your profile, which I'll talk about. Yeah. So for step 7, we're going to be implementing 3 attributes into your profile, into your bio. So what I have it broken down. So the first one you're going to say as in, you're going to use your credentials. It can be accredited buyer's representative. It could be a designation. And then the second can be a generic skill. So as a consultant, as a communicator, as a persuader, And then for the third one, it's a life experience or a previous career as a former teacher, as a accountant. And so what you do, so I listed them as spaces here so you can add that. So as an example, for number 3 would be as a former accountant. I have used my quantitative analysis skills in conducting comparative market analysis for real estate, for my real estate agents. So that's a quality that you gained, that quantitative analysis quality that you gained from your former life experience or previous careers also attributes to this. What I also want to emphasize is with life experience. Let's say real estate was the first career that you had since day one. That's totally fine. That's something that you can add in step 3. That is your life experience. Also for newbies, for real estate agents, for new agents joining into the real estate field, it's really important when they're putting their bio and they're trying to design their brand and market for them and how they want to present themselves within the real estate market. You want to consider how those previous careers and the qualities that you gain from them really help you to the skills that you have now for your real estate business. So, there are agents, you definitely, for those newbies, I definitely want to emphasize like what previous careers have you had, and definitely have those emphasized when you're putting your bio together. So this step is critical. And as you notice also, like what Amy said, it's always what's in it for the client, what's in it for the consumer, right? And so for here, you notice like the way we have these sentences structured, we're not saying I. It's more of like as a blah, this is what I'm going to do for you, right? As a former accountant, I will provide you with the best quantitative analysis, blah, 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 right? So it's all about clients want to hear what's in it for them. So that's the way I had these sentences structured without using I as much.
You're making me think of so many things, Eyerusalem. Like you could have like as a local native or as a native of the local area.
As a Washingtonian. As a Northern Virginia
generation realtor, or there's just so many things. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Exactly. And then, because I've actually met with agents who've had, like their parents were realtors, their great parents were realtors. So, examples like that is all part of your life experience. So that definitely fits the category for 3. And then, so step 8, I provided additional area for you to write your realtor profile rough draft. And I also provided a second page if you need more space to write. So this is pretty much where you're going to weave all of the elements throughout the exercise. Everything, you're going to jot it all down here. Let's say you already have a bio. You can think of ideas of what you listed here from this exercise and think about how you want to incorporate it to your new bio, to your new bio to update it, to enhance it. So you can draw here, you can doodle, you can sketch, you can you can skip lines, you can write all over the place, and pretty much, you can draw your saxophone here. You want to. I'm the jazz lover, real estate agent, and I'm trying to sketch my logo. Maybe that's how I want to use this page and take advantage of it, which is why I provided the extra space. So weaving these elements into your profile, and you want to make sure you have used every single part of the exercise and all of the results that you've accumulated from the exercise and incorporating it into your profile. So by rough draft, that's part of the rough draft. So you're not required to write the entire thing as a whole, but especially for newbies when they're trying to sketch it out, this is perfect. And for people who have worked in the real estate industry and they already have a rough draft, if they already have a written profile, this is a good way for them to reflect and assess what ways can they improve it with incorporating their unique value proposition. So this is how we concluded the exercise. I
love this. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you because I'm so excited. I'm thinking about so many ways that I could have benefited from having this in the past. I have a coaching client in a mountain community who was asking me for advice, and she just had this one thing that she just kept thinking of that was unique about her, and she wanted me to help her come up with a whole brand identity around this one thing that she could think of. And it was challenging. Like I was trying really hard to be creative in the moment. And this, this would so help her to look bigger picture, really, really play with it all and bring it together. And everybody watching, I want to encourage you to do this more than once. There's a lot of moving parts here. Do it with friends, do it with coworkers. It will evolve over time. What a powerful resource. Thank you. Thank you. But I interrupted. I feel like I cut you off because I was so excited.
No, I'm glad. I'm so glad for your enthusiasm. And, this was a great idea that we decided to present this separately. Like I said, this was all part of another class. So I'm so excited that I was able to teach it and, share it with you as well.
Great. So tell everybody again, where can they get their own copy?
Yes. So if you go to theallegianceway.com, you go to the agent resources up at the top. Okay, and then you go to where it says Daily Dose. You scroll all the way down to the top, to the bottom, and you will find Unique Value Proposition. You click it, and you can fill out the form, and then you will get an email where you can download your exercise, and you will all get a copy of this.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us live. And if you're watching this on the recording, join in like everyone else and make comments. We really, really like feedback. Thank you so much to Eyerusalem Meaza, corporate trainer extraordinaire at RE/MAX Allegiance, all of the agents who have the good fortune to have you as a resource. I hope you know how much they appreciate you, and I think you do. We talk about this. They tell me how much they appreciate you, and I certainly do. Working with you is a treat. So thank you for being on the Allegiance Way show today, Eyerusalem. And everybody, stay tuned. We have many more great things coming on the show, so hope to see you tomorrow and the many days to come.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
I have got to figure out there's something missing. There we go. Bye, everybody.